I'm Kevin Wilson. I am part of the University of Missouri Extension Small Business Development Center. The Small Business Development Center is the educational part of small business development. We teach classes on business planning, strategic planning. We do one-on-one business coaching in the areas of marketing, finance, human resources, international trade, strategic planning, things like that. So we are here to help small business owners, no matter what the industry is, and help them start and grow their businesses. I've been working in small business in some form or fashion for probably like the last 20 years. I actually took Sandra's place. She's a SBDC alum too. So here to help small businesses in any way we can. And the price is awesome too. It's free. So it's usually affordable in that regard. Today I'm here to talk about the Contractor Loan Fund. There are several individuals in the audience who are also part of this program as it is forming. It has not launched yet, but I think it is imminent. I know many small business owners are really eager for this thing to launch and say, well, I need some money. We are very close. At this point, I think we're at the $9 million mark, and we are close to securing the last $1 million. We believe that we will have that money in about 2 to 3 weeks. Is that correct, Alan? About 2 to 3? Okay. The Contractor Loan Fund was birthed from Mayor Slay's office. They had a desire to help in the areas of inclusion and help in wealth building of minority and women business owners in the city of St. Louis. Many financial institutions have pitched in and invested in this, as well as some prime contractors, other nonprofit organizations. This money will be able to help contractors as loans as small as $5,000 to $1 million, based on Wall Street Prime. As Alan Richter had mentioned, it will, along with the loans, will come technical assistance and coaching, and that is also factored into the loan process. So you'll be getting technical assistance on the front end and the back end. A lot of technical assistance providers are already part of this program. The Small Business Development Center, the RUC, the Minority Business Development Agency, MOCAN. So we have several technical assistance providers who will be working with the contractors, MBEs and WBEs as they move along the process. And so as we go along, we think that we're going to have a lot of success with this program. Anything I'm missing on the Contractor Loan Fund? Any questions I can answer at this point? Yes, sir.
So you said you guys have $9 million.
Roughly. I think it's a little less
so
than that.
Between $1 and $9 million.
Yeah, something like that.
And in about 3 weeks, you'll have the other $1 million. So I guess, obviously, I don't understand all of that. But from a layman term, it would seem like, well, couldn't you loan part of the 9 out, or is it just sort of a policy that they've said that they won't engage anything until they hit a $10 million mark?
Sure. Well, it's kind of, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
If we started early and ran out of money, then it was like, why'd you raise more money? But I know that there's an urgency to get this money on the street as fast as possible. But I think it's just, they believe, and let me say this first, that I'm part of the University of Missouri, and we haven't put $1 into this thing. I'm just part of technical assistance. So, but I think it is the desire of the investors that we have a complete fund before we execute, and to make sure that it is properly capitalized before we jump out there. Taven, my man, I ain't seen you in a long time. Where you been?
So what's the underwriting look like now? Collateral requirements. How patient are you guys going to be early?
I think it is the desire of the underwriting committee to have this pull back in comparison to banking lending criteria. So if this had the same level of underwriting as, say, a bank, it would not be as effective as it normally would be. So what she'll be looking at is, cheaper money. They will be doing some underwriting on these loans. So it won't be a free money giveaway that you don't have to pay back. There will be some criteria. There will be some, guarantees. They will be looking at cash flow, things like that. However, the purpose of it is to try to get that money out to make sure that MBEs and WBEs are able to work on that $10 billion worth of projects in the city of St. Louis. So it will be pulled back in comparison to your traditional underwriting.
Is it just for MBEs and WBEs? Or?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Two questions.
Two questions.
What is the difference or the relationship between your organization and RUC?
Great question. So the Regional Union Construction Center is a 501c3, as Alan mentioned, and it was founded by construction industry primes, completely privately funded in terms of donations and grants. The Small Business Development Center is a 20-year-old program. It originates out of the Small Business Administration. You'll find an SBDC everywhere in the country, Guam and Puerto Rico. They typically are housed at a university. It is a grant from the SBA to a university to provide education and technical assistance for small business owners. And whereas the RUC is very focused on MBEs, WBEs in construction, I work with anybody. So minority, women, veterans, Black people, white people, anybody, any kind of industry to help them start and grow a business. All right? I'm sorry, yes.
Is there a timeline applications for the loan program?
What I was told yesterday, you have to take that with a grain of salt. I was told yesterday we'll probably be looking at taking in applications next month, but
So you haven't started?
we have not started taking in applications. Yes, sir.
So is this fund strictly for construction concerns or for any type of business?
I believe that it is construction, contracting, and suppliers, correct? But it would be
less emphasis on the suppliers.
Right.
It's primarily physical contractors, self-performing.
So it can be used for operations as well as equipment as well, or just equipment?
I think it is mostly about working capital on contracts, but there were some allowances for M&E. Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I know that certainly some owners with some of these large projects have been involved in this as well. So has there been any thought, certainly companies that are here today many of them are already on the campus renewal project. Obviously, they're all part of the BJC capacity building. When companies apply, is there any consideration to looking at, like you said, they may have an existing contract in their hand that they need to take care of, but also they may also have strategic things they're looking at for growth. Mm-hmm. So there's a difference, and help me, Katie, because you helped me understand this one time before. There's a difference in funding that just helps you, get your next payroll.
Absolutely.
And then growth funding.
So another major component of this program is about capacity building. So that's where I think there's this marriage between the technical assistance and coaching and the underwriting. And so when they're looking at these deals, they're going to be bringing in the technical assistance providers to understand how much money is needed on the front end to take care of a project, but what is needed to help this company build capacity so we have this company 10, 15, 30 years from now.
What about the professional services? You guys always leave us out of the deal. Is there monies available for maintaining, growing our businesses as opportunities occur. We need to add staff, what have you. Is this funding for that purpose at all?
I'm not quite sure on professional services. I'm not sure that if they were. Absolutely. So I don't think they were excluded. However, I don't know if we had a lot of discussion about professional services. But that's a good point. I will definitely bring that up. Any other questions?
You know, Mike mentioned David Noble is a very key player in this whole thing too.
Yes, David. You got any
Well,
words?
he's gonna get the floor for all.
He's getting his preacher's notes together already. Okay. Yes, sir.
What's the source of the capital? Where did that $9 million come from?
So it is a list of, I saw a list of probably what, 20 funders so far, something to that effect. So everybody from Stiefel Nicholas, banks, David came out of his pocket with some money. No, but it's the city has put up money. So there's been several investors, a lot of the local banks, some prime contractors have put some money in. So some have put, each have been varied from, some put in 1 million or 2 million, and then some put in 250,000. So it comes from a lot of different sources.
And is the 10 million the actual source of the capital, or is that being used to leverage additional capital?
So part of that so the 10 million is a complete deal, and part of it is investment, and part is the part that's going to be loaned out. So I guess.
The way it started, the way it's structured, there's $6 million, what they call senior debt. That was with Stiefel Bank and 2 other banks saying, all right, we're going to help you do it. We're going to give $6 million of senior debt, but we need you guys to raise $4 million of junior debt in front of it. And it's the junior debt that gets used first. So the junior debt comes from WashU, BJC, Clayco put in $250,000, SM Wilson and Alberici put in $250,000, maybe MSD and others. And there's a couple other folks that are coming to the table with real dollars. From my standpoint, SM Wilson, $100,000 gift or an investment is an enormous amount of money. So this is the biggest thing we've ever done to try to get something to happen. But we're almost there, as far as I know. Almost there.
Any other questions?
So when the 10 million is gone,
It's gone.
Well, you're already borrowing.
Man, Stan, I thought we were cool. You're going to ask me all the hard questions. Wait till David comes up. No. No, my hope is that this program would be wildly successful and we would get other investors into it, and this would be a model for the country, that we would see something like this continue. And I think, there is a desire for this to go on beyond the 10 million.
Kevin, is the criteria the same, whether it's junior debt or the senior debt, and is your money in the junior?
All of us real folks are on the junior debt, but as far as I know, it's the same money. There's no different criteria for one or the other.
Okay.
However, to your point, though, I think where you're going, there is 2 levels of underwriting also. There's going to be, $100,000 and below, and then $100,000 and above. And so we're going to kind of look at those deals a little bit differently. Smaller companies don't need as much scrutiny or need less. We're going to handle them differently, let's say that. All right. Have I gone over my 10 minutes, Sandra? All right.
And you'll be around maybe.
I'll be around. Thank you.